If your home flooded during Hurricane Ian, you may be wondering if there's anything you can do to keep the water out during the next storm surge. Welcome back. I'm Russ McCaskey.
And I'm Nicole Gabe. And if you search flood-proofing products online, you see thousands of options, but it can be tough to tell what may work for you. Week News Investigates reporter Celine MacArthur tracks down the experts to get some advice and answers.
Fort Myers beach builder Joe Orlandini specializes in luxury homes that can withstand storms as powerful as Hurricane Ian. This one is no exception.
He basically didn't lose a thing except his pool cage.
Joe says the home did flood, but only at the garage level.
I think it was about 6-7 feet roughly inside.
The owners don't want to repeat, so they asked Joe to help them install a flood barrier system. It's a first on one of Joe's homes.
It actually is panels. Each panel clicks together with a water seal between each one, and they slide into this track, and of course they bolt in and secure them in place.
He says this hammerhead system, purchased from Garrison Flood Control, costs about $14,000. The company's owner, Arnon Rosen, tells me why he thinks it's worth the investment.
And that really gives you the best protection because it's almost, I won't say it is hermetically sealed, but it's essentially hermetically sealed. You don't get any water.
The company offers other options, including this red water barrier,
which is an interlocking plastic panel system that you can protect your perimeter, you can protect doorways.
And water-filled tubes you can use in lieu of sandbags.
And essentially you're fighting water with water. It creates a berm around your house.
I then asked the question many of you may be thinking right now.
How do you know they work?
Sure. So, we've built tanks and we've actually tested to different heights for the hammerhead system. But beyond that, we now have hundreds and hundreds of projects in the field that have sort of been out there working and being used.
Rosen did not have any testing results to show me, so I asked the American Society of Civil Engineers for guidance. Robert Traver, director of the Villanova Center for Resilient Water Systems, says there isn't a perfect solution.
You cannot battle Mother Nature very easily. There's always the old joke of Mother Nature bats last.
And each storm is different. Traver hasn't tested the products in our story, so he can't review them, but says you need to ask yourself an important question before you buy anything.
Let's think about this. You're going to have to, within the time that you know a hurricane is coming, put it in and rebuild it or get it installed and get it up to operation. Is that really feasible?
The danger is you're rolling the dice.
That's Louis Greenwell from the Association of State Floodplain Managers, a partner in the Flood Mitigation Certification Program. The group works with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and FM Approvals, a testing and certification company, to put flood barrier products through rigorous trials.
They can test, I believe it's up to 4 feet tall, and they would turn on this wave machine, and these products would be hit with these tremendous forces. And we have sensors and technology in place to measure how well those products perform.
The products that pass the tests are posted online. But as of now, there aren't many to pick from.
The testing and certification process is still a mystery to some people.
The program isn't mandatory, and Greenwell admits it takes time and potentially tens of thousands of dollars for a company to get one of its products certified. Rosen says he's not interested.
They're looking for hundreds of thousands of dollars to test your products. But we kind of test our products anyway.
And he claims his products meet federal standards.
Our product meets all the requirements under the National Flood Insurance Program and under FEMA.
However, the requirements he's referring to in these NFIP technical bulletins are for non-residential and mixed-use buildings, not homes. And FEMA tells me they don't verify or certify design calculations for any flood barrier products. Certified or not, Joe says you should consult an engineer before you buy so you know if the product can work with the structure of your home. You'll then want to make sure that product is installed properly.
A lot of people put it in themselves. If you're fairly handy, it's really just about getting out a hammer drill and drilling the post to your wall.
But if you make a mistake, Joe says even the best systems won't work.
I would probably want the seller of the product to be the installer. In a scenario like this, you want the application correct, you want the sizing correct.
I reached out to the floodplain managers specifically for Cape Coral and for Lee County. Now, the communications director for Lee County told me that we are not allowed to interview them
for our story. When I challenged her, she said we can send in questions. So if I get any information of value, I will share it with you. In the meantime, I have found the names, phone numbers, and email addresses for every single floodplain manager in our region, and I'm attaching it to this story online for you to use. I'm investigative reporter Celine MacArthur, Wink News.
And sandbags are an inexpensive option that work if you use them correctly. You only want to fill the bags halfway and then stagger the joints when you stack them. It should look like you're layering bricks. All right, we'll be right back.